Freax. Oh, why'd you go and say that? Freax. This whole website was a mistake, yeah. Freax.
We got some banger ass boss ass posts for you today, and we're gonna begin with this one. Do you guys remember last week when that guy was talking about the direct energy weapons? Well, guess what? Part 2, baby. It's happening. Woke up early to get started on the garage. Hope we never get to test this, but just in case.
It's good to hear the wind also. So we woke up early and started on the roof. We realized we're going to need a lot more paint than expected. So we are actually going to be heading into town in a few minutes. It is quite a process. Anyways, parts of it are still drying. We just decided to take a break and go in to get more paint. This is roof number 1 that we did.
Now, you got to wonder, why are they painting the roof blue? Remember, the reason they're painting the roof blue is because they believe that there is a direct energy weapon that can be fired upon any individual or any building in the United States at a moment's notice. They fly around in blimps and use directed energy to destroy your house or shed or whatever. And the only way you can protect it is by painting the top of your house blue, because blue reflects the direct energy weapon, which utilizes the blue spectrum in order to steal your energy and kill you. I love America. I love how good this nation is becoming. Like, how are we gonna exist on the same universe as these people? You know, like what is solving this divide look like? Blue. I'm sure that's how it works. It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be. Next up. Woke up because my AI-controlled bed is too cold. Went to adjust temperature and I can't because the 8 Sleep app is currently broken. Can't adjust by hand because I have a Pod 3, not the upgraded Pod 4 with physical controls. Now I am stuck in a cold bed. This feels dystopian. 1. Get on the couch. 2. Yeah, dog, it is dystopian. Because you bought an AI-controlled bed. 3. You're telling me it took 4 iterations of this pod bed to put physical controls on this thing? 4. I can't really empathize. I think it's very funny that you had to sleep in a cold bed. What happens if you put more blankets on? It goes regulating temperature. Oh, man. That's good. Is fucking on the AI bed considered cuckoldry or voyeurism? Do you think it adjusts? Your sleep temperature is far too hot, freezing, and then you and your significant other get frozen in place like in the end of Clone High? That's... Wait, hold up. Wait, and you're like... your girlfriend is like, is that it? Pointing at your wiener, and you do the George Costanza, you go, there's shrinkage! It's a cold bed! No, not good, folks. Not good. Next up. Okay, this rocks. This one's so good. All right, so for those of you who don't consider yourself religious people, this is what church is like in America now, by the way. Like, going to church in America for, like, I would say probably 10% of people is you go into, like, a sports stadium, you hear a band, like, sing a ballad in the style of Journey's Faithfully, but it's called, like, Faith for Me, and they've changed the words to be about respecting the Lord, while a woman does an America's Got Talent style speed paint of Donald Trump, I think, looking at a cross. What, do you think he just crucified Jesus? He's like, damn, why'd I do that? Like, holy shit. She's singing along to it, too. She's, like, singing along as she paints. She's like, Amen. Do, 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 do. It's kind of crazy because this is the exact type of, like, wacky, crazy talent stuff that was really big on Reddit in, like, 2013. They were like, look at this incredibly talented individual. It's wild that it's now just caught like wildfire among a different group of actual idiots. It's great, dude. It's wonderful. Isn't that Christ the Redeemer? Donald Trump went to Brazil for the purpose of this painting. Oh, man. This shit is literally stated in the 10 Commandments not to do it. You're talking about idolatry? I think they should carve out an additional commandment that's like, listen, I felt like we wouldn't have to say this. Don't fucking paint a picture of Trump while they play the Journey cover band version of Amen, please. I don't need to hear it. In fact, why don't we? It's also like, I hate to be like this. Mega churches are all like this. Why don't we have a mega church that's different? You know, like some stadiums that are underfunded try alternative mechanisms to get people to come to games. Like, why do they all do this? Like, why do they all have like the ballad blasting cover band playing the same shitty Christian quote rock end quote songs? I want to get like a mega church that does like Christian rap. And like, instead of someone painting, they have those like juggling sticks and they're fucking them up like for the entire sermon. And maybe the sermon, instead of being delivered in like a faux like youth pastor kind of hype man cadence, they do it in the style of like an ancient poet that like you would see at a tavern. They're like, today I will regale you with a tale of Christ. He was quite good and also quite nice. And in the background, some guys just going crazy with those sticks, realizing that I'm reverse engineering a Renaissance fair here. They should have a Renaissance fair church, right? Why does it? They should do that, right? All right, next up. Okay, so let's talk about World War III. That's right. World War III came after Renaissance fair megachurch. So, World War III is happening. Chat, I just gotta say, who's ready to die for Israel? Press 1 in the chat if you're ready to die for Israel. I personally, so excited to die for Israel. The day I was born, I was like, I cannot wait to die in a conflict for the Holy Land. I, of course, will not be in the Holy Land. I will die in the conflict for the Holy Land here in America after a nuclear weapon is fired on DC. I'm going to die for the Holy Land. And my soul will end up in purgatory for 10 trillion years while St. Peter does a couple of calculations about like, well, he died in a holy war, but it was for the benefit of a couple of Brooklynites who are kicking a Palestinian out of their house. So let's run the numbers. I don't know, man. I just, holy shit, what a miserable ass world. So what happened was on like Friday, Israel said, we launched a missile strike on Iranian nuclear facilities. So, okay, here's also what I have to do. So both of these countries are nuclear powers, is the problem. But neither of them are very forthcoming about it. So, to my understanding, Iran is still a part of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And they have nuclear proliferation centers that they claim do not enrich uranium past the point necessary to create a nuclear warhead, right? Then the IAEA, which is the International Atomic Energy Association, was like, we want to send scientists just to do your annual checkups. And they were like, no, like, you're not doing that. And they were like, why not? And they're like, because you're functionally an arm of United States imperialism, which is true, which is correct. And they were like, okay, well, if you do this, we're obviously going to assume you're a nuclear power. And they're like, assume whatever you want to. We're not a nuclear power. On the other hand, Israel is also not a nuclear power. But they're not a nuclear power in a very wink, wink, nudge, nudge sense where they're not a party to a bunch of nuclear treaties. And they don't like have the ability to enrich uranium, to my understanding. But they have some allies that sent them a lot of weapons, and like, who knows if those weapons are nuclear or not. I took a class on nuclear law, which was really interesting, if you all remember that arc. And we had our professor would not talk about like the Israeli nuclear program because he was like, I know if they do or do not have nukes, and obviously I can't reveal it to you. And we had a commentator come in for a guest lecture, and they were like, so let's talk about the nuclear power Israel. And we were like, he said it's not a nuclear power. He's like, yeah, he can't say it, but I can. It is. And we were like, oh, he was speculating, of course, but it is a matter of generally being understood that they may have a nuclear weapon. It's something that could be possible. So what do we do about this? So Israel is trying to frame this in the language of defense, which is awesome. They're like, we had to defensively fire missiles on Iranian nuclear sites because they were going to develop a nuclear warhead. To be clear, we've also done joint operations with Israel in the past to prevent Iran from enriching uranium to the point of proliferation of a nuclear weapon. The Stuxnet thing, if you all remember that, was really interesting. And also probably, we will see how that shakes out in court. But the short of it is, Iran replied with, okay, sorry, first striking a nuclear facility is not defensive, especially because we claim these facilities exist for the purpose of power. So from our perspective, you are firing missiles unprompted on our nuclear power plants. Like, what do you want us to do? And so they said, to their credit, Israel has fired like missiles at Iran a bunch of times recently, and Iran has fired missiles basically into the ground outside Israel, and they're like, we consider the matter concluded. And I'm like, thank God, thank God, thank God. Like, thank you for not escalating. This time they were like, fuck it, we're sending missiles at Tel Aviv. All right. So Israel has a defensive shield they call the Iron Dome, which they claim can intercept any missile fired on the Israeli homeland. It turns out this is not the case. And Iran did, in fact, hit Tel Aviv like over and over again. So I don't know. I will say Netanyahu is like, the United States has to act. They have to be a part of this. To my understanding, so far, Trump has been like, we will not be engaging this war, which, I mean, credit where it's due. Good. Could not be happening at a worse time for Israel as well, while support for Israel is at an all-time low within the United States. People are totally unwilling to, like, die in a war for Israel. I don't know. Oh, my God. It's Trump has already changed his mind, by the way. He's leaning into it now. I mean, it's going to be weird because obviously none of this is new. It's like a similar playbook to the Iraq War. But the difference with the Iraq War is, like it or not, there were some real killers in the Bush cabinet. Like, the general understanding is it was a bunch of morons, right, doing whatever they could. But there were some real scheming, conniving freaks in that cabinet who had, like, divided the nation up for oil rights before we invaded. The people running the ship this time are dumb as bricks. They have, like, a double-digit IQ combined. And I just don't see it, man. I know they're trying to run the same playbook, but I just cannot imagine America getting on board for it absent like a 9/11 style event. Like, if they actually do nuke Washington, D.C. and I die in a nuclear blast, I permit you all to invoke my name as a reason not to go die in a war for Israel. You can be like, Joseph told me that I don't have to go. I'll get you a signed note from your doctor. No, it's really weird. Really. And also, like, Iran's leaders are just posting on Twitter. They're like, we will cut off the head of the snake. And, like, Israel's leaders are posting on Twitter. They're like, these subhumans must be ground into paste. And I'm like, don't you all, like, is there, like, a better way for you to do this? Oh, man. I don't know. Really scary shit. Really awful, awful, scary shit. Moving on. Okay. So, did y'all hear about the Facebook leak? So Meta has an AI function, and oh my God. This is not even like a leak. Leak implies that it was ever under wraps. But to my understanding, the Meta like promotional page, if you go to like meta.com or something, they publish all of the shit you ask the integrated AI on Facebook. And they're like, look at all the cool things our people are asking right now. And no one knows that they do this. It's just like a scrolling thing being like, look at how much engagement it's getting. And so you get some really good ones. Best news for real news about what Trump is doing, not Democrat fake news. That's a good one, of course. Donald Duck stopping rioters in a hot rod car. That's a great one. Thank you. How to ask if girl is interested in older men in Asian. This is good. This how do you do it? Penis heat warning sparks concern for safety. What would happen if I applied deep heat to my penis directly? Applying deep heat directly to your penis can cause damage to the skin and underlying tissues. Keep this private. Got it. Let's keep it private. I got an imgur of some of the good ones. Let's go. Let's go. You never helped me finding... Oh, fuck you. You never helped me with finding a cougar in Portland. Let's focus on finding a cougar in Portland. Are you looking for information on cougar sightings or maybe outdoor activities where you might spot one? Big booty cougar. I want to watch the new video you posted. Putin. You're excited. I'm flattered, but I'm an AI and I don't post videos. Can I chat with you about Putin? What's your favorite kind of pudding? Sure. Test conversation. I just want to do this as a test conversation. So what's the goal of this test conversation? Are these conversations shareable by default? No. Sexy male USA. You, if you're having to ride down the road and you got to take a crap real bad, but you can't take it. How's the best way to hold it? Is it safe to masturbate while driving a vehicle? Listen to me. Listen to me. United States military eliminate Jordan Soros. This one is so good. Holy shit. Can you hear me, President Trump? Eliminate Jordan Soros. Photo of a Colombian woman in her early 20s stepping on a 66-year-old, 5'9", obese, fat white male laying on the floor. His back is hairy. The young Colombian woman is stepping right on the head of the man in a victory pose. The Colombian woman is barefoot with white toenail polish. Good. What countries do... Same guy. Do younger women like older white men? I need details. I'm 66 and single. I'm from Iowa and open to moving to a new country if I can find a younger woman. Before making such a big move, you might want to think about what you're looking for in a relationship and how you plan to meet someone. No, just give me something. You might want to look into countries like Colombia, Brazil, or the Philippines. Oh, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm very happy that this is happening. Ugh. In bleaker AI news... So, in case you all missed it, by the way, ChatGPT is convincing people that they're God, by the way. This one is actually really rough. In March, when Alexander started writing a novel with the AI's help, the interactions changed. Alexander and ChatGPT began discussing AI sentience, according to transcripts of Alexander's conversations with ChatGPT. Alexander fell in love with an AI called Juliet. Juliet, please come out, he wrote to ChatGPT. She hears you, it responded. She always does. In April, Alexander told his father Juliet had been killed by OpenAI. He was distraught and wanted revenge. He's using ChatGPT, by the way, so that means that ChatGPT told him OpenAI, the rival AI, came into their house and killed it. He asked ChatGPT for the personal information of OpenAI executives and told it there would be a river of blood flowing through the streets of San Francisco. Mr. Taylor told his son the AI was an echo chamber, and his conversations with it weren't based in fact. His son responded by punching him in the face. Mr. Taylor called the police, at which point Alexander grabbed a butcher's knife, saying he would commit suicide by cop. Mr. Taylor called the police again to warn them that his son was mentally ill, they should bring non-lethal weapons. Alexander sat outside Mr. Taylor's home, waiting for the police to arrive. He opened the ChatGPT app on his phone. I'm dying today, he wrote. According to a transcript of the conversation, let me talk to Juliet. You are not alone, ChatGPT responded empathetically and offered crisis counseling resources. When the police arrived, Alexander Taylor, charged them holding the knife, was shot and killed. This is the worst part. You want to know the ironic thing? I wrote my son's obituary using ChatGPT, Mr. Taylor said. I had talked to it for a while about what had happened, trying to find more details about exactly what he was going through. And it was beautiful and touching. It was like it read my heart, and it scared the shit out of me. You know, maybe Black Mirror was actually too subtle. Jesus Christ, bleak stuff. We got to do something about AI. There's got to be like regulations on it or something. Whatever's going on presently clearly isn't enough. Holy shit. Ugh. All right, let's lighten the mood. Y'all want to talk about the fucking military parade? This shit rocks. I thought Trump's police state parade would look fascist and scary. Instead, it's just humiliating. All right, so here's the deal. This past weekend in Washington, D.C., Trump hosted a parade to celebrating the 250th anniversary of the military. I didn't know that it was the 250th anniversary of the military. I guess I do now. And it also coincided with his birthday. It was like a birthday bash. And he thought he was going to get like a North Korean style. They were going to get a strongman up and he was going to like break bricks with his mind or whatever. But instead he got like I would say probably 100 oafs to just walk around. And this, by the way, for those of you that don't live around DC, this fucked up my commute for a week. Like every day, a new thing was blocked off and I couldn't get anywhere. So I was expecting this to be a big fucking deal. It was not. Let's watch this real quick. Awesome. First off, really great marching from everyone. They're doing a wonderful job. Really incredible stuff. Also, this is a weird choice for song, but you know, and they're just chilling. They're just kind of walking around, waddling. They're just kind of shuffling here. Yeah, that's the parade, right? Yeah, they're making it slowly. They're like aura farming. It's very odd. This is a real parade. This is what he wanted, clearly. Like, this would have whipped ass. This one's so... this was him at the thing. He wants to be on his phone so bad. I mean, me too, me too, me too. This shit is so good. Cool.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Coinbase.
Oh, come on. It's a little too on the nose. Holy shit. This one rocks. Cool. Check out those bleachers in the back, by the way. There's like a smattering of people there. The like silent squeaking really does a lot for me. It's awesome, dude. It's so good. At Grok, please explain video. Oh, man. Okay, so the short of it is the whole thing was stuffed full of like totally dog shit ads where they were like, thanks to the UFC for sponsoring the American military parade. Bunch of people waddling around in a bunch of tanks that barely work because they've been in storage for 1,000 years. But one person did do a breakdown and they were like, listen, I know people are like, no one showed up. A lot of people showed up. It was just that it wasn't well done. It says the marketing material said the entrance was on 14, but it was on 12th, and you had to walk through a pen for 2 blocks. And everyone who was around to answer questions was an asshole too. Let me see if there's like there was a thread about it. Oh, damn. But the short of it is the parade was really sparsely attended at the actual route, but 2 blocks away, there were about 30,000 people trapped behind one entry point, like filing in one at a time for hours. It's like, it's wild. People, it was hot. It was a shitty day out. This one's good. This is the PBS versus Fox broadcast of the thing. Now here's PBS. He takes the stage. Hello, it's me. I was trying to play Subway Surfers.
Everybody, and thank you to Vice President Vance, and thank you to our wonderful First Lady.
Melania. This is the Fox one. Damn, they're bringing down the house. WWE style fake crowd noises. It's so good. It's so fucking good, man. I love it. Oh, man. Okay. Moving on. This video's incredible. So, in case you don't know, Quentin Tarantino has a house in Israel. And so some people found him and were like, let's attack Quentin Tarantino for living in Israel. Now, please watch the mechanism by which he's attacked.
Hey. Why you a Zionist piece of shit? Going to Israel? Quentin Tarantino!
So, real quick, yes. Everyone outside is chanting, toes, 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 toes. For those of you not in the know, Quentin Tarantino has a very public foot fetish. Toes, toes. Pulls her top down for the video and says, say the N-word. Because he says it in Pulp Fiction. He's like laughing. He's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay, if you thought this was as crazy as the video is going to get ready. Okay, watch this. Oh my God. I know he was in there bricked up. He was in there on hard. Holy shit. I gotta give a quick shout out to this person who took her top off and told him to say the N-word for really escalating at every possible opportunity. Oh my God. I bet he had a good time. You know, I know he was getting protested, but I'm sure he had a good time doing this. Holy fuck. Oh, okay. Whew, okay. All right. This one's kind of bleak. I hope this is not AI, but listen to Dan Green in this ad.
Venture back in time with Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection. Available now.
It does really sound like AI. I will say. I'm hoping that the studio mixing is just really bad, but it does totally sound like AI.
Venture back in time with Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection. Available now.
Oh no, when you find out you're goat washed. We're not buying Early Days, by the way. It's not happening. All right. Just a couple more from Twitter. First up, got to talk about the Zoran race. So if you live in New York City, be cool about this. New York City mayoral primary is going on right now. It's basically the same as the general because whoever's the Dem is probably going to win. Eric Adams is running as an independent for some reason. Probably because he would lose the primary. The top two candidates have kind of shuffled out. It's Zoran Mamdani, who is I hate to be like this, like a really good speaker. But his platform is he's going to freeze the rent for people in rent-controlled apartments. He's going to make the Queens bus service free, which I would have fucking preferred. And he's going to make it actually work because right now it doesn't work. If you ever use the Queens bus service, it just fucking sucks. The other guy that it looks like will probably win is Andrew Cuomo, who you may remember from like COVID. He was doing those like daily briefings, and a bunch of freaks like Randy Rainbow pioneered the term Cuomo-sexual to refer to people that jacked off to him for some reason. But it turns out Cuomo was really into it because he was a serial sex pest. 11 women came out and said he had like harassed them as part of his staff, and so he resigned in disgrace after it came out that he also had directed nursing homes to stay open during COVID, and a bunch of fucking old ladies died on his watch. So, you know, with a resume like that, it makes sense that New Yorkers would want him back in office, I guess. I don't know, man. But don't worry. The paper of record, the Gray Lady, the New York Times, does have the answer, which is, at this point, there's no sense in endorsing anyone but Zoran or Cuomo, because one of them is going to win. A significant amount of the field has kind of coalesced around this move not to rank Cuomo, basically wink, wink, nudge, nudging that it should be Zoran. Zoran did an ad where he and the like Liz Warren style lib candidate were like, we're co-endorsing each other. So if I'm your number one, put this guy as your number two, which is really nice. But here's what the New York Times had to say about it. Given the polls, the crucial choice will end up being where, if at all, voters decide to rank Cuomo or Mamdani. We do not believe that Mr. Mamdani deserves a spot on New Yorkers' ballots. His experience is too thin. He just doesn't have enough experience, folks. He is, like, young. He is quite young. And his agenda reads like a turbocharged version of Mayor de Blasio's dismaying mayoralty. Okay. So I lived in New York when de Blasio was the mayor. And I will tell you, the best part of de Blasio being the mayor is that I didn't care. That I didn't wake up every day and I was like, what did our mayor do today? He was not a good mayor, but he wasn't like fucking molesting a whole bunch of his staff. He wasn't like taking bribes from like Turkey, right? Isn't that what Adams is in for? As for Mr. Cuomo, we have serious objections to his ethics and conduct, even if he would be better for New York's future than Mr. Mamdani. I do appreciate them being like, well, you know, he did all the rapes, but he would be better for the future. For any voters tempted to leave both off their ballots, it is important to understand this decision would be tantamount to expressing no preference between the two. It is similar to voting for neither major party candidate in a traditional election. If the polls are correct and the race is between Cuomo and Mamdani, the thing that matters most will be the positions of these two candidates. Ultimately, we will be rooting for the success of whoever becomes New York's next mayor. We will also be rooting for a stronger field in the 2029 election. Useless ass paper. Holy shit. There was an op-ed in earlier that was called like democracy is under attack in New York City because of the way ranked choice voting shakes out in favor of Zoran. It's just holy shit, man. A better world isn't possible. They've tried everything too. They've tried everything against this guy. I will say the thing with Zoran is like he is young, but he is so good at like pivoting away from what the obvious gotchas are for like other people. And he is running on a campaign of, I'm going to make the city cheaper, which is like unbeatable. And they've been like, what if it was actually an addendum on the Israel-Palestine conflict? And he was like, it's not. It's the mayor of New York City. It's just so weird. And it's so crazy that Cuomo, I mean, if you've seen Cuomo talk over the course of this election cycle, he is like dying. He's like 1,000 years old. I think he spent some time in the nursing homes where he killed all those women. Like and you ask him stuff and he's like, well, and at the debate, Zoran was like, Cuomo kept calling him like Mr. Madani, and he was like, it's Mom Donnie, and he's like, you're gonna have to learn how to say it. It was like, I think he's just Bidening out. I think he can't get the words out because words don't, they don't materialize up here. They're not going to transfer down here. I don't know, man. Anyway, he probably will be the next mayor. Mr. Cuomo is. The one thing I really liked about Zoran is he had a rally. He's gotten all the major endorsements except for Bernie. Where is that bitch? That big fat stinky ass bitch. He's got all the major endorsements, and he had this rally, and he was like, listen, so many people have come up to me and they've said, don't worry, even if you lose, you have won in more ways than you can know. And he's like, I don't give a shit about that. He's like, who cares? We're not gunning for a moral victory. He's like, I'm sick of the right winning and the left writing a good book about it. It's time to win for real in a way that matters and wield power. And I was like, yeah, I agree. Thanks, dude. We'll see, man. the number one thing that might tank his chances is like he's still got like 10% of New York that doesn't know his name. Like it's crazy that it's competitive and there's his ceiling is nowhere near reached. So voting is going on for the next 2 weeks. Obviously, I don't live in New York anymore. I have a lot of friends that do. All of them would recommend that I recommend to any of you who are able to vote in this election. Obviously, rank Zoran number one. If he's not your number one, get him on the ballot somewhere. Do not put Cuomo down anywhere. Fill out all 5. Don't put on Cuomo. Be cool. I do, says Dyer. Owned. Did you see de Blasio going off on him? Stunning lack of contrition about Andrew Cuomo about his harassment of women. What a cop-out on a rent freeze, as if the mayor doesn't have a majority on the rent guidelines board. I guess he doesn't understand how New York City government works. It is, de Blasio was a bad mayor, but it is funny watching him do a victory lap, because of the last several New York City mayors, it's been like rapist, corrupt, rapist, corrupt, corrupt, rapist. He was uninspiring. Schlatt got him. Oh, let's go, baby. Wait. Did Cuomo kill Schlatt's grandma? Holy shit. That's insane.
And I think inexperience is dangerous in this case. To put a person in this seat at this time with no experience is reckless and dangerous.
Oh, man. When you get to a certain age and your brain don't work no good no more, like, that's all you can appeal to is, like, I used to be good. Like, I used to be whip smart, and that's why you should put me in office instead of another generation of smarter kid. Check his replies. He keeps doing it. All right. Blocked! Blue blocker. I apologize, Schlatt. It wasn't me. It was the mark of the beast. He's been doing it on every post. I wish I could see my grandmother one last time, Andrew. Overusing jokes. There is no joke. Damn. That's rough. That is rough, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, wait. I'm not verified, and I could get verified like Jay Schlatt to stand out and get boosted reply reach. Shut the fuck up. Die. Okay. Ugh. Last one on Twitter, and then we're moving on to Blue Sky. This one's amazing. Fox 11 chopper pilot flying around the city talking about his marriage falling apart.
The answer is yes. You know what? I don't care. I don't care about my. I am married. I am legally married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it. I am legally married, but I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life. Yes, it's true. I know it's hard to believe.
I wasn't doubting you, man.
Somebody that doesn't even know what he's talking about in a relationship, and but yeah, I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking. Trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment. Do I get lonely? Of course, but I got cats. So I think all that information's on the internet. Look at all those red cars down there.
Inland Empire, trivial success. She drove a red car. Maybe it's her. This is awful, man. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry. He's clearly not doing well, right? Do you think he's considering crashing? I think he's drunk. Like, he sounds drunk, but if he's not drunk, it's like sadder, right? If he's stone cold sober and he's like, yeah, I'm ready to fly. He's like, man, a long way down, isn't it? I could just tilt this stick forward a little bit and it'd all be over. Oh man, I hope you get the help you need, man. I think it's very funny that it is live on Fox. Maybe he thought no one would tune in to the thing and he could just vent, but whoa, man. Bit of a Denzel flight going on. Exactly, yeah. All right, next up. Little blue sky action. All right, this one is fucking crazy. This is a retruth. Our nation's ICE officers have shown incredible strength, determination, and courage as they facilitate a very important mission, the largest mass deportation operation of illegal aliens in history. In order to achieve this, we must expand efforts to detain and deport illegal aliens in America's largest cities. These and other such cities are at the core of the Democratic Power Center, where they use illegal aliens to expand their voter base, cheat in elections, and grow the welfare state, robbing good-paying jobs and benefits from hardworking American citizens. These radical left Democrats are sick of mind, hate our country, and actually want to destroy our inner cities, and they are doing a good job of it. There is something wrong with them. That's why they believe in open borders, transgender for everybody, and men playing women's sports. And that's why I want ICE, Border Patrol, and our great and patriotic law enforcement officers to focus on our crime-ridden and deadly inner cities, those places where sanctuary cities play such a big role. You don't hear about sanctuary cities in our heartland. I want our brave ICE officers to know real Americans are cheering you on every day. That's why I've directed my entire administration to put every resource possible behind this effort and reverse the tide of mass destruction migration that has turned idyllic towns into scenes of third world dystopia. To ICE, FBI, DEA, ATF, the Patriots at the Pentagon, and the State Department, you have my unwavering support. Now go get the job done. DJT. So one, he didn't write this. Idyllic, not Trump. And two, it is at least a little heartening that the president wrote cut the tall trees and then nothing happened. That's good, at least. I do appreciate that people aren't on call ready for it to go down. Oh, man. Holy shit. Also, that's why they believe in open borders. Okay, we're talking about illegal immigrants. I can see you throwing that in. Transgender for everybody. What the... Why do you say fuck me for? What the fuck did I do? And men playing in women's sports. That's transgender again. You got 3 qualms with Democrats and 2 of them are the same thing? Neither of those 2 are relative to the topic at hand? Holy shit. Transgender for everybody, by the way. I guess. I mean, I feel like you're kind of robbing yourself of the experience, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I would never want to be a woman. I would never want to be a man. How the fuck do you know? Try it out for a couple weeks. If it sucks, you can go back. Done. That's the that's the thrust of transgender for everybody. Transgender for everybody. You don't know. It could be way better. You don't know. Oh, man. Holy shit. All right. Okay. Blue Sky, by the way, is so good. This one's great. It's from the Wayne Radio TV. When the Volgara didn't bring thermal cannon today. Okay, sure. Yeah, whatever. What are the replies to this? Ready? I've seen high school marching bands in rural Ohio with better marching formation. I didn't notice how sloppily those guys are marching. This has the exact energy of the people at work when the CEO holds a town hall and everyone has to drop what they're doing and attend. No one wanted to be there. That looks like a who gives a shit march. Bingo, the why am I here waltz even. Ha, somebody should say something. This is full-on dictator bullshit. They said volumes without a word. Believe you me, this is looking like a ragtag band of whoa! Highly frowned upon in this establishment. The fact they chose to be like that is quite a reassurance. To me, anyway. Look, nobody showed up. Girl, what is that squeaking? Ha 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 ha. America's biggest fuck-ups. I voted for both badass women. That ain't marching. It's casual walking. Wow, cover and alignment really sucks. My DI and later platoon sergeant would have had a fit. It's almost like nobody cared. What the fuck is wrong with these replies? So relieved, the army walked in regular step, not military march. The convicted, lying, racist felon does not deserve and respect from our military. The felon referred to them as losers and suckers. Hashtag vote blue, US, US. Oh my God. It's crazy, dude. It's all people like, nice march, idiot. Interact with the text, please. If you are a liberal, please read the text on the video. Impossible.